Hi everyone, Maria McGrath here, founder of Restore Balance and Harmony, creatrix transformologist. Now, I wanted to talk today about grief, and I'm just going to scribble because I'm not good at graphics and being real pretty and making things up. I just want to share, I want to show. It makes more sense, I guess, when you see something rather than me just talking about it. So I hope that you get to understand what I'm trying to talk about here. But I wanted to talk about grief and more in. Oh, you can't see it, so it doesn't matter. Won't matter with the lines. More so in understanding the epigenetics, the layers of grief that have been sitting on our DNA, and then we've come into this lifetime and then we've added so much more. So basically, epigenetics is science. It is similar to genetics. When we talk genetics, we know that our eye color, our hair, our bent pinky finger, our characteristics have been passed down through the generations from our ancestors. Okay, so epigenetics is the study of emotions, traumas, beliefs, programming being attached to the DNA and then passed down through the generations. So if we think about, and we're struggling with grief, okay, we've got this much has happened, okay, we're here, we don't have children, we have this big massive hole in our heart, a grief for the loss, for the lives, for the children that we thought we would have, the life that we thought we'd have. Then we've got, somebody, I'll talk about me, okay, just to make it easy. I had my grandmother die, an uncle die, another uncle, my best friend, more like a big brother, he passed away. There was another grandmother down here, a grandfather here in my early childhood. So I have layers and layers and layers that happened in my lifetime. So up here now, this is just so thick, and it is influenced, by all the other layers that I've had. There's been grief, and it's been sitting there, and then there's been more and more and more and more and more, and then this, turn 40, 45, the hot flushes start, menopause. I'm not going to ever have children. That's just, that weight is sitting on top of all of this other, okay? That all plays into what I'm feeling right now, okay? But if we then think about how much has been sitting there on our DNA, as well as what's happened in our own lifetime, what did our mother go through before she had us? Were there losses in her life? Was there grief in her life? How many layers does she have? Okay, maybe we'll make it blue. There's layers and layers there. What about our grandmother? What about our grandmother? What did she go through? How many layers did she have? And then you get back to our great-grandmother. Another layer. Now, there would have been war happening. So she could have had brothers, husbands, fathers, nephews go off to war. She could have had children die because there wasn't anywhere near the medical assistance that there is now. She could have had her mother die. She could have had her sister, she could have been, anything could have happened. Okay, so there's layers there. Now, if you go back 14 generations, which is what science has proved, epigenetics, in 14 generations, how much grief is there sitting on that DNA, right? And the further you go back, they had a completely different life to us. So there's a lot of, I just want to, so you can say all of these are an individual event, okay, a trauma, a loss that has happened. So every single one of this, and probably 1,000 more lines, are sitting on your DNA. They are a part of who you are. Does that make sense? If you can get a visual look. So right now, when we think about right now, I am childless, I don't have children, this is what we're thinking about. This one line here that we're struggling with, this grief is so overwhelming. Some people may not have this many lines in their ancestral history. Okay, some may have 1,000 more. So every single woman is going to be going through her own journey. Nobody on the planet can know what you individually are going through. And you know what? You don't have to know all of these to be able to heal your ancestral line, your bloodline, which is what I help you do. But I wanted to show you, because most people don't know this. There's nobody teaching you this, that you are the sum total of all of this. But not just all of that. What if I throw a spanner in the works here? So this is grief. I know it's going to come out backwards. But what if we had anger, sadness, jealousy, resentment, just to name a few, and every single one of those emotions had this many layers in your DNA sitting there, affecting how you act, react to every single word that comes into your mind. Okay? Every single, I could go on, and every single one of us has got, 30, 60, 100 if we go and dig deep enough on those emotions. If you go far enough back through history, for women, having a child was a duty. You were supposed to produce an heir. So for a lot of women, and I have my own, obviously, but I've helped a lot other women in this area. I'm not a woman if I don't have children. There's something wrong with me. People are judging me. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. These are all, emotions that we feel. Okay, and we struggle with those, and they're layer upon layer upon layer. They're layered on top of the grief, they're layered on top of the resentment, they're layered on top of the anger and the frustration and the hurt and the resentment and the jealousy. Okay, and fear and guilt are huge in women. Okay, we have so much. No wonder we can't get off the damn floor. No wonder we can't see a way forward. And there is nothing out there that is working with epigenetics, with this layering. Okay, there is nothing that goes. An NLP timeline can go back a certain way, but it's not anywhere near far enough. But it's also a very male brain tool. Now it can help, and it can help a lot of women. It helps. 1 in 5 will have really good results. Really good. There are a lot of women who struggle with the timeline. It's very linear. It's very male brain tool. But also it only goes back about 7 at the most. And in that also, you are consciously choosing where you stop along that line. Okay, you have to make a decision. And it may not be that you've gone back far enough. So it always generally comes back. Maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2. But the emotions come back. With Creatrix, which is the tool that I work with, it works with epigenetics, and it works for the female brain. This is designed by a woman for women. It takes into account epigenetics. It takes into account our hormones. Okay, our mind, which works very, very differently to the male brain. Okay, it just does. We have a program, ladies. Okay, we were designed to give birth. We have a uterus. Now, no matter whether we can or can't or haven't, okay, no matter if we have glitches or viruses, or think of it as a computer, viruses that have stopped it from doing the work that it can. Okay, we have a uterus, which means every cell in our body, out of the 100 trillion cells, has been formulated for that uterus, basically. Okay, men don't have a uterus. They don't have any of the stuff that goes on in our mind. They don't have our programming. Okay, simply, think of it as if you want to, an iPhone and an Android. Okay, they can do same things, but they have completely different hardware. They have different programs. Okay, and then they have different software. They have different programs that can come in. iTunes. That does not go on an Android. It's not possible. Women need their own tools. Okay, and that is why, and I was disheartened for a long time because I tried so many different things for, I don't know, 5-6 years. I was flat out spending thousands of dollars trying everything, and nothing worked. Nothing changed how I felt, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I was getting sadder and sadder, angrier and angrier, more grief-stricken, on the floor, crying my eyes out every single day, and nothing worked. I went away, very first 3-day breakthrough. At the time, it was only done in group, because it was just one woman doing it. So she was doing groups, 3 days, and I had my light turned back on. Okay, I hadn't done the grief, but I worked on sadness, and I worked on anger, and I worked on quite a number of others. The thing with this is you're working on one emotion at a time until it's gone. Don't ask me, but you'll know. If you were to go through this, you know when it's gone. Okay, because I keep asking you, and we keep going through until we get rid of that. And then we go on to the second emotion. Then we go on to the third emotion. Then we go on to the fourth emotion. Okay? The biggest and the worst first. Get rid of that. Now, and every woman's going to be different into what that is. Obviously, we can all guess the main ones that we would feel being in this group. Childless, not by choice. Okay? But there will be other ones that have been there. Maybe you were told as you were a kid, you're a big fat bitch, and that has stuck to your DNA, and it's there and it's sitting, and you think that I'm not good enough. I worked with one woman, it was about 3 years ago, and I don't want, to take this the wrong way, but she believed in her heart, in her mind, that she would not be a good mother. I don't deserve to have kids. Okay? She couldn't fall pregnant, but that was because she believed she didn't deserve to have kids. There were big emotions that she was struggling with. Okay? So every single woman has her own voice in her head going through. And I've, worked with women who have 30 and have 165 emotions on their list when we start. So it is your own journey. There is a lot there. And I want you to start the new year off with a bang. I want you to be able to release this stuff. If you want to, then this is the tool for you. And if you are ready, then this tool is guaranteed to get you the outcome that you are after, okay? But it's not for everyone. You have to be ready. You have to want it with every fiber of your being, all right? So, I only take on women who I know are ready. I give you a plan of action that you have to follow through. You have to do a specific set of exercises before I will even take your money and take you on as a client. That is how I want to know that you are really ready, that you're going to do what it takes, okay? Because I want results for you. I want you to live your best life. If you want that, then reach out, okay? From now until the 1st of January, I am going to offer, okay, get on and get it as soon as you can. It's a 60 to 90-minute Zoom call. This is not Creatrix. It is a call to talk about, to get to know me. We'll be one-on-one, Zoom, face-to-face, talking about where you're at, okay? We'll have a strategy session. We'll get in and identify all, not just the biggest thing that's holding you back right now, the biggest pain that you have, but all of what's going on. Okay, you're a whole person. You have all of this going on. We're going to work out what it is, okay? And we're going to talk about what are your next best steps. And perhaps Creatrix is the next best step. Maybe it is not. I will not take you on if I don't think you're ready. I want you to know that, okay? And I know you don't know me, but I genuinely want to help, okay? Who else gets on here and does that? They're on and they're drawing and making pretty things. I don't care. I just want you to get the idea of what is going on in here, in the cells of your body. Every single cell in your body is affected by the emotions that you're holding on to. And if we don't let go of them, it will make us sick, okay? And grief is lung. My mum has lung cancer. Can't help her. So genuine. I want you to know this is genuine. Only those that are ready, that want my help, can I help through this process. So I will put a link in the comments below for my calendar, okay, to go in if you're wanting to go in. You have to want to, okay. I'm going to go in and I'm going to put the link to the calendar, okay. If you need more times, if you're somewhere outside of Australia and you need different times, let me know, and I can open my calendar earlier or later if that is going to work for you, so that you have the chance for this call. So, because I need to know that you want it, there is a fee, there is a cost, okay? I need to know that you value yourself enough to want to make change. Because if you get stuff for free, you do not value and it never does anything, okay? You just don't get results from something that's free. So it's $197, okay? Christmas present to you, $197. It's not that much at all, 197 Australian dollars. Okay, to start with, that's what it is. So I'll put that link in. I really, really, really hope that you've watched it to the end, that you can see that it's not just here that we're all living with, this one here, right? Even though that is what we're feeling right now, it's not the entirety of the issue, okay? It has been layered through centuries, okay? Science says 14 generations. Who the hell knows if it's not 114 or 1,014? Okay, how long has your bloodline been feeling grief? Okay, people, it's just the natural way of life that people die. But there are definitely other types of grief, don't get me wrong. But we have, through many, many, many generations in our bloodline, we've attached grief to all of those cells that are now in our body. However, you can release them. And you know what? I know it to be true. I know what I felt like. I know what I looked like. Okay, I look younger now, than I did 7 years ago. I look skinnier, even though I am actually, heavier than what I was 7 years ago in menopause. Or premenopause, whatever the hell I'm in. It's a nightmare. But it has a physical effect when you release this stuff. Oh my God. There's nothing, I can't even explain what that feels like. But, and if this helps, we have women trained in this process in 13 different countries. And there are women who are psychologists, hypnotherapists, therapists of 100 different sorts, counselors, coaches, there are NLP practitioners, there are kinesiologists, there are just about every, other practicing modality out there. Someone, not all of them, but some women who want to help women and know that their results aren't all that it can be, they are coming over to learn this tool because all issues, one tool, it doesn't matter. It could be, I think money is evil, to grief and sadness and loss. Doesn't matter what it is, that one tool works on everything. But you do it one at a time. And that might sound like it takes forever. But generally, it's a 6 weeks to a brand new life. But you will feel a difference after just one session. However, that's getting ahead of the game. I've got a couple of videos in here talking about creatrix as well. You can go and watch them if you want to know more. But, do yourself a favour. Book in for that call. Have the conversation. Identify all that is going on, not just the things that are there, because there's going to be other layers that you're not really aware of, and that's my job, to help you uncover them and work out and know what's there and how you can let them go. Okay, and it's coming from inside of you. Okay, I don't give you any advice in the process of creatrix. It's all coming for your own. Just as we have all of these, sad, heavy, negative emotions that have been passed through our DNA, we also have a ton of wisdom that is stored there. Only this negative shit weighs heavier. So that's all that we're living on. Everything, we seem to get stuck in the negative, for a lot of us anyway. And where we are right now, we can't help but feel that negative, because it is just so painful, that we feel like we've just missed what we were here to do. So I will end it there, because I've been talking way too long. I do that quite often. But book a call. It will be a Zoom, face-to-face conversation. You can get to know me. You can ask me whatever questions you want. We're going to talk about what's going on and really dig deep and find out everything that's going on, and then find out if you are ready for creatrix and if that's the next step for you. So I hope to hear from you soon. If you want to ask questions, you can either leave that in the comments or private message me. Bye.